moment. How are you doing today? It is Harmony here, having to move our whole section over until a Sunday today. But you all have been literally, I think January has been like a Sunday moment. It's been a month of Sunday moments. So I'm so grateful for the most part. I'm so grateful for all of you guys' flexibility and your commitment to your moments, your commitment to our togetherness and our time together. I'm just going to situate us a little bitty bit. There we go. I'm going to get us all situated, make sure we're all in the camera, everyone can see clearly. Sometimes there's like a glare that comes from my window. So I just want to make sure that glare is not all glaring on us. But okay, it looks like we're all things to go, right? Yes, welcome to the Sunday moment. Today is gonna be an extraordinary moment. This past week would have been the 11th birthday of my goddaughter, Niiwa Fatu. Niiwa Kirawa Fatu. She would have been 11 years old. She transitioned at 5 weeks old from SIDS 11 years ago. And I want to dedicate this episode of A Moment of Harmony to her, to my best friend, who's her mother, to all that loved her, that were connected to her, and that still are. And I want to also dedicate this show to Niiwa because me and my best friend had a conversation yesterday. I had a number of conversations yesterday. It's been a beautiful weekend. It's been a very profound weekend, a very deep weekend. And I like weekends like that. And I had so many conversations. There was so much communication from the creator to me, as always. And I just was like, you know what? I want to make sure that I translate all that I've experienced this weekend accurately into the moment. I want to make sure that I'm using the creator's word and way. So I want to first start off to say, when in dedicating this to Niiwa and to Neonu, I want to be able to say, one of the things that we talked about was when you love someone that has transitioned. In my case, my baby brother was murdered. In her case, her daughter transitioned very early. They are not the same. I am not comparing the same things, at least with what it is that we had to deal with. But just the tragedy, the trauma, the pain of loss, and just most things in life, even when there isn't tragedy and trauma and pain and loss, there comes this moment of why me? And today's moment is a reflection on the why me. When we look back in our lives, when we look back over the things we need to heal from, when we look back on the journeys that we're on, we often get caught in a why me. We get so upset that our path was a certain path that we miss the purpose of that path. And I want us to be able to look back so divinely, so openly, so from such a healed place that we never miss the purpose and the path that we were given, the path that was mapped out for us intentionally, and an understanding, because sometimes some horrible things happen to us, some very breaking experiences were a part of who we are, and we don't want to acknowledge that these things happen to us for a reason, because sometimes it's saying that there was a reason also means that we have to justify or accept or that we deserved what happened, and that's two different things. It's two totally different things to say, you deserved abuse or you deserved neglect or you deserved trauma. I want you to say that you were worthy of it. You were worthy of the building that was happening with you. You were worthy of the outcome. You were worthy of your breakthrough. And I want us to be able to get to that place through some of the places we're going to go through our moment today. So we are in a reflection series. We're looking back at it. We're in Sankofaing ourselves through this journey of healing. We understanding that to know thyself, we have to go over thyself. We have to find thyself. We have to love and nurture thyself and study. And in order to study yourself, in order to really be a student of your life, a student of your mission, a student of your togetherness, you're going to have to go back over and say, like, why was my journey like this? What is it that I was supposed to get out of it? And not from a place of victim, maximizing yourself, but really from a place of growing, a place of understanding. And I just want to make sure that we have those opportunities to look back over everything from a place of understanding, from a place of receptivity, from a place of joy and gratitude. And I know what I'm asking. And I know that's a big thing to ask, but we're going to do that today. So, again, today's episode is entitled Reflect on Your Why Me. A lot of times we look on our why. Why am I here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? I want us to look over the why me. I want us to be able to go. So, when I talked to my best friend and we talked about Neiwa's birthday and we talked about Victoria's, we talked about the things we've been through. One of the things that we both talked about was the whys, trying to figure out why. And it stayed with me all day. I also want to shout out my aunt who graduated from seminary school with her doctrine yesterday, who is Dr. Linda Scruggs, honorary doctrine at that. And so during her graduation, there was a word spoken by a phenomenal minister, Tate. I know his last name was Tate. And he said some great things. And it was so crazy because a lot of what he had said, me and my sister, we drove almost 2 hours to go to the ceremony. And we were talking a lot about a lot of the stuff that he had reiterated by the time I got there. I'm trying to tell y'all, the weekend was divine, right? Super divine weekend. So this super divine weekend is going on where me and my sister are having these talks about life, what is it? Gang, Aqua Gang. I'm true Aquarius, so I have all these theories, all these thoughts. I am just a 24/7 student. Okay, I'm always researching and trying to understand. So I'm giving my sister all my theories on life. Like, this is what I think life is about, and you guys are gonna hear a lot of that today. But when I get there, the guest speaker of the seminary graduation was reiterating so much of what I said. And also that morning, I reached out to my best friend so that we can have a happy birthday moment about my goddaughter. And well, yesterday, and just making sure the day was productive and beautiful for her. We followed up about that. And we talked about some of these things as well. So I'm braiding it all together and I reflect on my why. Again, we are in a reflection series. This is intended. Peace, mother. Thank you so much. Hi, my sissy poop poop poop. We are intended to look back in a divine way. Reflect on your why me. When we are going back in our lives in a way that we want to understand, not that we want to condemn, not that we want to justify current behaviors, not that we want to justify certain actions towards people in our lives, but when we truly are wanting to heal, we want to grow, you cannot know thyself without understanding thyself. And I have to go through every nook and cranny. I have to go through everything that made me, molded me, or even broke me for me to truly understand where I am today, to know how I've gotten where I've gotten. So reflect on your why me. This is where we're going today. So there's 3 parts we're going to get through today, as we normally do. The first part is going to be living with what you are without. Living with what you are without. It's going to be very difficult to be able to divinely go into why me? Why was I chosen for this journey? What is the purpose in this path for me without being able to really understand how you lived with what you were without and how it grew you, how that affected you. So then we're going to go into life and talking about life being a test into your triumphs, life being the lesson. And we're going to go also finally into favor equals formality, and talk about just how the victories are already ours. How a lot of times once you've made your mind up to be a better self, your emotion towards your better self. Once you've made your mind up to heal, once you've made your mind up to grow, the worst is behind you. Once I've decided that this is the last day I feel like this, once I've decided that this is the last day I go without, that this is the last day I live like this, I know better, I understand better, I will do better. Your worst days are behind you. So we're going to go into that as well. Reflect on your why me. That is our session, our healing session for today. Okay, so the first part, life is the test. Triumph is in your breakthrough. I was talking to my sister about this the other day because she was talking about the good dying young. And listen, y'all are going to be blown by how this whole moment came together this weekend. We were talking about people that we know were great people. I mean, not nasty bones in their bodies, beautiful people. And my sister was like, it's crazy because it feels like the people who deserve life don't get to have it the longest. And the people who don't deserve it live forever. People who are rude or mean or nasty. And I told her, I said, that's why there is this saying that only, that the good die young. Because everyone gets this misconception, this is my theory, that life is the goal. That life is the final part. Life is the gift, growth is the goal. They get that life is the test. It is not the triumph. A lot of us feel like because we're breathing, because we're here, we've arrived, we've made it. The very fact that you're here in the physical realm and you're breathing and learning and growing and becoming is that you are in a place of coming together. Peace, Baba J. You are in a place of that. This is the whole purpose of the breathing fleshly portion of your existence. The fleshly portion of your existence is but a fracture of all existence. You existed before you were born into this body, and you will exist long after you depart from the body that you are in. But it does not mean that your spirit and your soul has done its job, its duty, so it is complete. I believe that, and when we went to the medium, my sister's on, when we went to the medium, KC confirmed this for us, soul school, right? Life, she said the physical life is soul school. It is conditioning for your spirit. It is but a fracture of your existence. It is a beautiful part of your existence, but it is your learning ground. Life is not the goal. You are never to be here just saying, I'm just trying to stay alive. And we hear people say that, I'm just trying to make it. This is your learning ground. You came here for conflict. You came here for challenge. You came here for further creation. And when it looks like life is crumbling you, life is just creating you. When it looks like challenges are coming your way, there are some people that transition very early because they figured it out. They may have had many lifetimes, and in this lifetime, they got it together. But what I am saying, when we are looking sometimes on our why me, why did this happen to this person? Why did this happen to my family? Why is this happening? What is this curse on us? Even sometimes as a people, a melanated people, it's why us? And it's saying like, look, the more the Creator works on you, the more the Creator has in store for you. So I always say like, look, I've gotten different readings on past lives, and me and my sister were joking about it. I said, why every time, I have a reader that talks to me about my past life, they say, I was royalty, and I was a healer, and I did medicine, and I did all these things. And then I come back in life, and I'm doing very similar things. Ding, the light bulb goes off. Now listen, I'm not trying to spook nobody out. I'm talking about my own beliefs and spirituality. All I'm saying is, what it further represents for me is that until you figure it out, class will be in session. Class is life. The growth is your graduation. When you graduate, when you get to you learn quick, you learn early, you get to the front of the class, you graduate. We hear all the time when they say, oh, she was a wonderful teacher. All she did was help people. And this person was murdered. This person was this wonderful person and they didn't deserve. And it made me think. It made me think like people are looking at, there are often times when we're looking at death and disaster as something we didn't deserve instead of a graduation in growth. And when you graduate, because I'm learning, oh my God, and Minister Tate, he spoke on that. Probably Dr. Tate spoke on that yesterday when we were in at the graduation. But he spoke, it was so crazy because when we got there, he started speaking on the divinity of learning. And he started to quote and cite different places throughout history or through biblically where they talked about learning as a divine right, as a divine superpower. So I was just thinking, like, this is crazy because here I am talking to my sister in a car that life is the lesson. Life is the lesson. You're only here because you're still learning. This is the test. And then you're going to get a breakthrough in your triumph. That's when you win. Once you learn. Once you learn how to be the great wife, you get the great marriage. Once you learn how to be a great husband, you get the great marriage. And many of us are we're great people. We're beautiful people. We're loving people. But being a great person doesn't create a great marriage always. It doesn't create a great life. Being a great learner doesn't always make you a great student, right? There comes humility, there comes grace, there comes strength. Sometimes as a student, you got to learn how to fall and fail and get back up. Listen, sometimes we get caught up in, I am good, and therefore I should not be going through. And in essence, you're saying, I'm too good to grow. I'm such a wonderful woman. Why do I need to kiss all these frogs to get to this Prince Charming? Listen, you're not too good to grow. I'm such a beautiful person. I give to charity and take care of children. You're not too good to grow. What's happening to you is not punishment. You're being promoted. This is called promotion. And you're going to go through what you have to go through to get where you have to go. Life is the test. All of us say life is just so hard. Life isn't what I thought it was going to be. Life isn't what I wanted it to be. Listen, as I'm learning, because even as a mother of a young adult child and teenagers, and as they're growing, I want so bad for life not to happen to them. Then you're up all night and then you're worried and then you can't sleep and you can't. I had this conversation with my sister the other day too, because my brilliant nephew, Cash, is getting into a phenomenal school and she started to worry about his future. And I said, listen, he's not too good to grow. Those aren't the words I use. That's what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is life is supposed to put you to work. Should it be brutal? Should you be suffering? No. But you should be learning. You should be understanding. It should be challenging you. And if life is challenging you, then you are growing. Trust me, life is coming. I always refer to the scene in Taken. I know all my Moment members are tired of me talking about this scene because I love this scene so much. But in Taken, when Liam Neeson's daughter is hiding from the kidnappers and she calls him and she's like, help me, people are in the house, blah, blah, blah. She's terrified and he braces her like, look, they're gonna take you. They are going to take you, but I am going to find you. And I always reference that because, listen, what you have to grow through to become your best you has already been written out for you. What you are going to have to endure, go back into what was I supposed to find? What was I supposed to gain? A lot of times we're just, woe is me. My life is too hard. This should be easier. I worked too hard for this. I'm not talking about suffering. I'm not talking about misery. I'm talking about looking at growth and graduation for exactly what it is. Your triumph is always going to be in your breakthrough. Why do you think you were going to come into this earth where hundreds of thousands of people came in before you and literally paved way with their blood, sweat, and tears, but you were not also going to have to contribute in some way? Blood, sweat, and tears. And sometimes we want them to be the blood, sweat, and tears that we choose for them to be. It's already written. It's already done. Your path and your victories have been placed before you and they are waiting for you. But the challenges that get you there. See, I can put you at the mountaintop, but if I never made you walk through glass or fire, if you ever fall off the mountaintop, you will never develop the callus on the bottom of your feet to walk back to where you belong. So yes, I can place you, but how would that serve you? Yes, I can elevate you easily, but how would that serve you? Ease is not elevation. I have to move you from point A to point B in such a way that you sit on your throne in an authoritative manner and you sustain because you know what you know. Our ancestors said, know thyself. It didn't say, let someone tell you about yourself. Let someone show you about yourself. Knowing implies growing. Knowing implies navigation. Knowing implies study. And we all know that you don't study anything without intimate exchange and hardship. I know what to do because I also know what not to do. When I become an expert on being a chef, I've burned some things. I become an expert on being a hairdresser because I've cut too short. I become an expert on a mother because I stayed up too late. I gave sugar or listen. We forget sometimes when we think that we've arrived in life as a living being and we're always looking for this easy route. The only thing promised to you is purpose. And if you go after your purpose, peace, everyone. If you go after your purpose and your passion and your life with everything divine, then you are promised peace. Then you are promised peace. Have my lessons come to me in peace. There's a saying that says, instead of, thank you, Sissy Pooh. There's a saying that says, I stopped, instead of asking it to not rain, I learned to dance in the rain. Or instead of asking it to not rain, I asked God for a bigger umbrella. When we go back and we look over where we need to grow from, I want us to be able to not ever be like, I'm trying to figure out why. Not from a sad place, not from a sunken place, but from a enlightened place. There is a jewel here for me. You ever go on an Easter egg hunt? Now, how do you get to the candy or the dollar or whatever gift, a ring or earring that's inside of the egg? You have to break it. You have to break it to get to what's inside of it. Same thing when we go for anything, pearls and diamonds. You got to get through something to get what is in it. And when you're in something, I'm promising you that there were gems inside of your most breaking moments that are going to get you into the mastering of yourself. I know myself in pain and I know myself in power. There were so many people that did not have, never had money before, thought they knew themselves, got money and saw different sides of themselves. I never thought I would behave this way. I never thought I would act this way. I never thought I would feel this way. You got women that were single or men that were single, and then when they get in the relationship, what people say, your friends and everybody, you acting brand new. When the truth of the matter is, you did not truly know yourself. That's what life is about. Give yourself grace. I did things I wasn't proud of. I look back now and I laugh like, oh my God, what were you thinking? And why did you? I was learning myself. Have grace over your journey. Have grace over your transgressors. Not to the point, again, where you condone and you allow yourself to be brutalized or to suffer, but to have grace in the fact that you were learning yourself. So life is the test. Triumph is in your breakthrough. What was the Creator was testing me. When I say that I am who I am, the Creator is testing me. When I say that I want to be a certain way, when I say I want to arrive at a certain place, the Creator is testing me. All that I am doing here is testing me to make sure that I am mastering. I'm mastering low vibration temptations. I am mastering pain and fear and frustration. I am mastering the physical realm that pulls me on a physical level. And if my spirit was good when I was in the physical, it is grand and graduating for the spiritual. As above, so below. The Creator was testing you, was testing where you were going, was testing what you were made of, was testing how you are able to be. Are you ready? Listen, there have been so many times in my life where the Creator is holding something for me. This is what I mean by life is a test. The Creator is holding something for me, and I'm suffering in a place where I don't have to suffer. I know that I'm in a place where I'm connected to individuals that are in a lower vibration than me. I know that I'm dimming my light. I know that I'm slowing myself down. I know that I deserve more than what I'm getting out of this situation. And the Creator has what is needed for me. But if I stay in a victim mentality of why won't you give that to me? Why won't you have this for me? Why are you letting me borrow money? Why are you letting me feel alone? Why are you letting me? The Creator is saying, I'm building in you the fortitude to protect your fortune. I'm building in you the grandness to protect the grace I have over your life. I'm building in you the strength to sustain what it is I'm about to pour down on you because I already have it for you. But I'm going to tell you that, and you know and you feel that it's time to go. You know and you feel that it's time to shift. You know and you feel that it's time to change, but you're connected and you feel obligated and you love and you haven't gathered the strength for the promise that I have on your life. I could give it to you right now, but that person that you're married to, they won't let you keep it. And in your heart, because Creator made us. I know what your heart is made of. I know how your spirit works. You will sacrifice what I have for you because of the hold that someone has on you. You'll sacrifice what I have for you because of the trauma and the hold and the anchor and the pain that someone else has on you. Your history has a hold on you. Your need to be validated by these parents that didn't do this or didn't do. Listen, that is a hold on you. And therefore, I can't give you because you'll use it, you'll lose it, you'll give it. I had to build you up to a place where you can reign supreme in the castle that I have for you, which is prosperity. And I know, look, I've sat in that conversation with the Creator. I deserve. I work hard. I'm trying hard. I'm doing my best. I'm giving my best. I'm righteous in my thoughts and my deeds and my walk. And the Creator is saying, it's not you that I'm keeping your blessings from. It's not you that I'm keeping your blessings from. It's what you're connected to. It's what you're under. It's what you're tied to. It's what you're sent, what's got its hooks in you. It's you in the mouth of a dragon, Ashe, sissy. If you're in the mouth of a dragon and the dragon is eating you, trying to eat you, and I throw you bread, you're going to starve anyway. I'm going to give you what's needed for you to survive. Learn what you need to learn. So when I give you this blessing, I never have to worry about anyone taking it from you. When I brighten your light, I never have to worry about you questioning, dimming it for anyone ever again. Because I've learned you. Pass the test and you'll get your triumph. Life alone is not the gift. Life alone is not the goal. Growth is the goal. Graduation is the gift. So, understanding that when we look back into our why me, why did this happen? Why is life so difficult? Why are these challenges? Because you are, listen, growing is the goal. Growing is the goal. Okay? And then, so now let's move on to when we get into, well, okay, Mama Harmony, you're saying that growing is the goal. The challenges and the circumstances of my life that were difficult, things that were building me and creating me, they were intended to build and create me. I was supposed to be in some of these spaces. I was supposed to find myself, know myself, love myself, and grow out of that a different person. I was supposed to go from level to level with a brand new tool, like a video game. You know how they advance from level to level, and every time they go to another level, they have another superpower or another weapon in their backpack because they beat one level and they went to another one. Many of us want to stop leveling, but life is leveling. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry, I felt like part of my sweater is in my throat. Life is about leveling. Be grateful instead of getting to the next level and say, oh, another battle. And say, you know what, this time when I went to the second level, I only had a hacksaw. This time I got a hacksaw and I got a bazooka. And once I beat this level, when I get to another level, I'll have a hacksaw and a bazooka and I'll have a hammer. And when I beat this level and I get to the next level, life is about leveling. Instead of going back over where you were, worried about why you were there, I need you to focus on what you gathered while you were there. Not why I was there, what was happening while I was there. Many of us say, you know, my college years built this in me. When the years of the army, people who were in military, these years built this in me. Or my summers at my grandparents' house, you know, growing up in the city life, this did this for me. Every season is building you. Go into your seasons. Go back into your seasons, Sankofa your seasons. And do it from a place of divinity and strength. So here's the thing. When I say life is the test, triumph is in your breakthrough, I want you to go into saying, listen, there are things that I'm living without, or I lived without, but I'm living with them. And I'm focusing on that I am without a father. I'm focusing though that I am without money. I'm focusing that I am without. But your fortitude, the building of yourself, is that you're living with what you don't have. If you look at a phenomenal person, and you said, oh my God, this person is so grounded and they're so kind and they're so accomplished, and they came from a two-parent home and they were fed with a silver spoon and they just had it very easy. And you're sitting here and you're saying, look, why me then? Why I sit in the same job next to the same person, we made the same accomplishments, we had the same thing, but this person did it with two parents. This person did it with money. This person did it with, as a melanated people, we do that a lot too, right? We'll compare people being in a position with us talking about what they did it with. I want you to look at how you're living with what you did without. This is what I'm talking about, the grace in your growth, the giants in your growing. This is what I'm talking about when it's saying like, wait a minute. Instead of me saying like, wow, you did it with X, Y, and Z, I am living with grace without people that were graceful to me. I'm living with patience without people that were patient with me. I'm living in a place of forgiveness when no one would have mercy on me. I'm living in a place of consideration. I'm a kind and considerate soul when I come from pain and violence and trauma. Look at what I've been living. Look at what I'm living with. With all the things I went without, there's glory in your growth. We don't have to begrudgingly go into our why me? Why me? Because I'm incredible. Why me? Because I was chosen. I don't feel cursed, I feel chosen. The Creator felt like I was worthy of the path. So this is why I say the Creator felt like you were worthy of the path. It's all intentional. This is what is a Fantasia, my girl, when she says necessary. God takes things from us to make us. And then he turns right around and gives us things to complete us. Hey, DJ, run that back. God takes things from us in order to make us. And then he turns right around and gives us things that makes us complete. Creator, you took my stability, my parents, you took my childhood, my hope, my innocence. Was he taking or making you? Was he making you? Because once you became this super phenomenal, incredible, unstoppable, unbeatable, impenetrable, divine being, did he not turn right back around once you were faithful over a few things and bless you with many? Praise Mama Yatali. Did he not turn right around after you were faithful with the few? I had a few good days. Had a few people in my family. Had a few good grades. Did he not turn around after you were faithful with a few things? Listen, he took these things. He was making you. And then once you graduated, he completed you. How many people say, oh, my husband, my wife, they complete me. I started to go to the school to complete me. I started this business. I started this school. I went on this spiritual journey. I started this diet. I feel complete. What does that mean? That means that the Creator put holes in your life for you to grow through. And when you were resilient and beautiful and grand and bright enough to grow through the holes, the Creator awarded you. The Creator awarded you and rewarded you. The Creator will take things to make us. And then we'll turn right around and give you. We serve a Creator of mayat, balance. Never go back into your story of why me. And it's hard to do. Listen, my baby brother was one of the brightest stars I've ever met. But I get it. Now, I'm not saying you don't hurt. I'm not saying you don't wish. I'm not saying you don't listen. It's not that we're not flesh at all. But what I'm saying is he understood. He understood the assignment. Come here in love. Come here in genuineness. Come here in wholeness. Come here in the ability. Know yourself. Learn. And once you know, you'll graduate. Once you know, you'll graduate. The Creator takes things to make us. And then he turns right around and gives us things to complete us. Those of us that are crying over our childhoods. Those of us that are stuck in that class we didn't pass. Those of us that are stuck in that football dream that didn't come true. That are stuck in that marriage or this situation that didn't work out. Child been married 5 times. Had children with this many people. Made this many mistakes. The Creator took some things away so that you would build. Took some things away to build up on you. And then turn right around. Didn't he give it back to you? Oh no, not your mother transitioned. Did you have people to guide you and love you, nurture you? Did he send you guidance and grace and mercy? Listen, when you're looking back and you're reflecting on your why me, I want you to look carefully on what he took to make you. That was the only. That's the only reason. It's the only reason I was raised by a single mother. You were making me. This is the only reason that we move from place to place. Listen, when I look today at people saying, oh, Harmony, you are one of the most resilient people. You just so strong. They say that about all my siblings. You're so adaptable. Change doesn't destroy you. I look back now at my childhood like, oh, you were making me. You are making me. You are creating in me a being that will sustain the blessings that you have coming. You are making in me a being that will be able to carry out a mission that would have been too big for someone who didn't go as slow as I had to go. Because I had a few things, I'm faithful over the many. I'm faithful over the many. Now, because you could trust me to when I was alone with myself, you can trust me to be alone with others. But I had to be alone with myself. Because you delivered me and I witnessed your deliverance. Creator, I now can be a vessel for you of deliverance. Because you healed me, and I know that there was nothing able to heal me. There was nothing able to move me. I've watched myself be in predicaments that people would say would need medical help, would need therapeutic help. Oh my gosh, that was so bad what you were dealing with. That was so bad what you were fighting. How did you do it? I watched the Creator do it. I've watched myself. Listen, I watched my aunt get an honorary doctorate yesterday. I ain't gonna tell her whole story. But what I'm saying is I've watched the Creator put you in a place that's going to build you to your grace. You wouldn't have got there without having to first go there. So living with what you were without is powerful. When you're reflecting on your why me, I want you to reflect on your power. I want you to reflect on your grace. I want you to reflect on your mercy. I want you to reflect on your resilience. You are incredible. You did double with half. You did double with half. Your humility, your grace, your fight, your intuition, your fortitude. Because only when we don't know what know thyself consists of will we think that the things that broke us were actually supposed to break us. That Easter egg, remember? It's getting to the core of it. Oh my God, that day he walked out my house and I was holding my baby and I was alone. I was so broken. I was braver. Oh, that day that, the person hit me and slapped me, I lost a part of myself. Oh, I gained. I turned into a warrior. I realized, listen, there is revelation in your resiliency. There's revelation in your resiliency. Go back over what you made it through. Not what you survived, but what you sustained within yourself. Not what you lost, but what you kept. Go there. Living with what you were without. You lived with that. You lived through that. You smiled through that. You played through that. You were a child that didn't have a gas and electric on in your house and you played outside. Look at what you were living with, even though you were without. Look what the Creator was making in you. Look at how powerful and extraordinary you are. Let's get into this. So here we're going to go into our last one, right? This is one of my favorite ones. This is favor equals formality. Now, I'm going to first break down favor because I know my mama is on the call. Look, my mother, she hates mama first off. My mother She hates favor. I ain't gonna use the word hate. She does not like the word favor. She thinks the word favor implies that some people get grace from God and some people don't. And I could understand how you would see the word favor in such a way. So I want to first break down favor before I get in how favor turns into formality, right? Favor is like grades. Everyone goes to school. Everyone has the opportunity to make grades. It's not necessarily saying that some people can make good grades and some people can't. What favor says is that everyone has the blessing on their life. Life was breathed into you. You were created with great and beautiful purpose, and we all came here as a beacon of light. Everyone has favor. Everyone makes grades, right? Everybody, if there's 1,000 children in the school, they all make grades. The way favor works is that not everybody makes good grades. Your A depends on the effort that you put in. It depends on how obedient you were to your teacher and your instructions. It depends on how resilient you were through trial and tribulation. It depends on how focused you were when you were being fed information. It depends on how well you behaved with your peers. Everybody can make an A and everybody will get a grade, but only some people will measure up to the standard of an A. And now, and I'm not talking about, oh, no, I didn't make an A because people would, because listen, you know that even in the special needs classes, the grades are tailored, right? We all know about IEPs and all these things. All of it, thank you so much. It all will be tailored. But what I'm saying is no matter how you got your A, the A is possible. So that means I don't care if you are a homeless man, if you serve and hear, you have a level of favor on your life. I don't care if you went your whole life and you never went to church or you never did anything people tell you have to do to be close to the Creator. What I'm saying is if you heard the Creator speak to you and you gave lovingly of yourself, you did what was right. You didn't spite people. You weren't nasty. You didn't hurt people. You weren't malicious in your being. You did not abuse your powers. You're at the standard of favor. Okay? So I want to break that down first. I am in no way saying that some people have favor and they don't. I'm saying that it is levels. And that you get there by what you put in. You get there by what you got inside you. Okay? And we know that some people start off way back. They don't care. They're not listening. They be in a ruckus. And then they work it very, very up. Ashe. So, when we say favor, when I say favor equals a formality, I want to relate this to returning to reflecting on why me. When you're going into your history, you're going into your path, you want to heal, you want to grow, and you're saying, why? Why did I have to endure this? Why was this a part of what I was dealing with? Why did I have to deal with this? I want you to be able to say, listen, yes, you are going to go through, just like I said with Liam Neeson in the movie, they're going to take you, but I'm going to find you. Favor equals a formality. And what I mean by that is that it is already yours. The healing that you are seeking, the growth that you are looking for, the happiness that you desire, the child, the children, the husband, the house, all is yours already. Because there is favor on your life, the lessons in life are just a formality. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through this school. I'm going to go through this course. I'm going to start saving this money. The business is mine. The empire is mine. I'm going to take this etiquette class, but wifehood is mine. I'm going to start this rites of passage, but the community is mine. Listen, it's already yours. The favor on my life dictates that everything from here until the fruition. Everything from here, my favor dictates that from everything between here and my fruition is a formality. I'm sitting up in here fretting about what I've been through. I'm sitting up here getting stressed out about what I had to deal with. It's a formality. I told you about when the sister was talking about the different levels of operation. As you are operating in life in real time, there is also an operation of your best case scenario. There's also the operation of your worst case scenario. And you are operating in the now. You're in the middle. And all you need to do is tune into the best case scenario because it exists already. Or you can go down into the worst case scenario because it also exists already. But once I understand that there is victory and not victimization in all that I've been through, in all of my creation, in all of my journey, once I understand that, it is easier for me to tune into the top-notch version of myself. And I'll say, I'm going to go on this first date, but this first date is a formality. The wedding is mine. I'm going to go ahead and check this ovulating calendar. This is a formality because the baby is mine. But you got to tune into the highest version of yourself, and you cannot go back into why me in a place of destitution, in a place of desperation, in a place of degradation and destruction, and expect for you to find in it what you need to grow. But if you go back in it to know, I need to know, not justify, not blame, not cry, not scream, not argue, not cuss. Why did you go through that? What was the creator growing in you? And now I can move forward. And I can take that to go and operate into my highest version of myself. I know how low I can go. And because I know what I can survive down low, there's nothing that can keep me from going super high. And I'm saying that understand that once you are faithful, favor is automatically all over you. You couldn't get rid of favor if you were selling it because your heart is faithful. Because your mind is faithful, your feet are faithful, your knees are faithful, your favor is faithful. So once you have the favor over yourself, everything else is a formality. I'm just sitting back and letting the creator grow me to my height. This is a formality. You go sit in that office with your boss and they say, well, Miss Brown, we think you need to... This is a formality. I'm not fretting over no formality. It's already mine. Already, there is a 45-year-old Harmony rejoicing in my future about all the things. Look, the pastor talked about that yesterday too when we went to IC. He said, we are building today, but we'll be tomorrow. That's what I'm saying right now. There is a me already rejoicing in my life about the things that I was able to build, grow, accept, exchange. Listen, the reason I dedicated this show to Niiwa, whose birthday was this weekend, the reason why I dedicated that to her, what my best friend was able to do with tragedy, how she was able to transition tragedy. And I know she doesn't even always see it because she still gets sad and she still sometimes will say, you know, she's looking for her why, and I get it. And my thing, like, you don't know why? You're incredible. You don't know why because you're powerful. I don't know power until I've seen it in the way that I've seen it. and her or my mother and most people that are coming through the unthinkable. You broke through the unthinkable. You were unthinkable in the unthinkable. And you want to know why? You're extraordinary, and now the whole world knows. You're incredible. The way you transition tragedy is just pure magic. I can't put no science behind what you are able to do with your heart in a million pieces and what you do with it. I can put no science behind. I don't got a theory. I don't have a theory for how life was taken from you and you give life in everything you do. One of the most important lives was taken from you. And you give life without thinking. You still got enough life to give it. You want to know why you? Because you're magic, boo. That's why you. Because you're incredible. Because you got to show somebody something about God. You're here to show somebody something about growth. You're here to show somebody something about grace and greatness and grandness and extraordinariness. And no one would believe it if you said it with your words. Oh, but when you got out of your puddle, if you just said it with your words, but I seen you get up off the floor. I've seen you crawl up out of grave. Come on now. And I'm saying everything else, boo, that's a formality. Are you going to be successful? Absolutely. Are you going to have all of your greatest desires? Absolutely. Absolutely. Will you live a positive and prosperous life? Listen, everything else is a formality. You have been faithful. You have been faithful in failure. You have been faithful in fear. You have been faithful in your falling. That favor now, Chad, it's a formality. It's just a matter of when. Stay focused. Let them say what they say. Let it do what it do. Let them bills come. Every single thing now is already yours. This life thing is the test. This is the test. You a loving thing? Let me, if you're so loving, let me let you fall in love with someone who struggles with love. You find out how loving you are. Or you're so forgiving, let me go ahead and make your best friend or your next to kin a transgressor. You so true to who you are. Let me go on, let walk through some betrayal. Walk through some doubt. Listen, the favor. You've been faithful. It's a formality. It's already yours. Formality has a similar word sound, has a word sound connection to the word familiar. Formality has a word sound connection to the word familiar. Ashe. And the word familiar is something that you already know. Something you've experienced before. Familiar. When we are going through this life, and it is so easy for us to go into, I fear, I don't know what's going to happen. I've been through this. I'm so tired. I want to give up because I dealt with this. I'm so worried about the future because my past. I'm scared of people because people let me down. I don't trust men because I've been violated. I don't trust women because I've been lied to. When we want to go into this place, I want you to ask yourself. You never have to worry why you. You never have to worry if anything happened to you just to happen to you. Have you been faithful? If you've been faithful, then you have favor that equals formality. And formality has the same word sign as familiar. It means that things that belong to you are coming to you. Have you ever met somebody who's like, oh, it's like we've known each other for years? You get into a job and it's like, it wasn't even hard to me at all. People that have talents, it just comes to them. Well, where'd you learn to sing? Nobody in your family sing it. Just something I can do. Oh, no. That's favorite job. Formality. What's in your heart will be granted to you when you heal your heart accordingly. There are things inside of my heart that I want to grow out of it. Let me water my heart accordingly. And when I am faithful, I know that the favor means that everything I'm walking through is getting me where I have to go. This life thing is a formality once you figure it out. The Creator is going to give you the things that your heart is familiar with. You're so busy trying to go out here and get the things you need. I gotta get this husband. I have to get this house. I have to get this reality. Creator says, fix your heart. Reflect. Look back at it. Sankofa. Fix your heart. Because I'm always going to bless you with the things that your heart is familiar with. It's already yours. This is a formality. But if your heart is familiar only with pain and tragedy, what can I reflect to you? Your heart is the space, is the dwelling. Your heart is the dwelling of the Creator, is the dwelling of light. You got broken light. It's the dwelling of possibility. You got dim light. It's the dwelling of greatness. You got scattered greatness. Fix your heart. The Creator is going to give you the things that your heart is familiar with. Love at first sight, that's familiarity. Picking up on familiarity. People want to make you out to be a super brain or a superpower. No, you are in tune with self and you have reflected what has come from outside of you. And when you see something, you're not seeing it for the first time. If you're a visionary, it's not the first time I've seen it. The Creator is blessing me with what I'm familiar with. Get familiar with something great. Get familiar with something grand. Get familiar. Stop. Ashe. Stop plugging in to the pains over the purpose. Stop resonating only with the bleeding. Resonate with the becoming. Pour into it. Feed into it. Get familiar with the good thing. Yes, in my childhood it was like this. Yes, I used to go through this. Yes, when that person took this. Yes, when I went through this. Yes. But it's not the only thing I know. Y'all, familiar is synonymous with knowing. I'm not about to sit up in this life and act like pain is all I know. I'm not going to act like betrayal is all I know. But some of us so caught in the pain, it has become all that we exude, all that we accept, all that we see. And then it keeps happening and happening and happening. It's what you're familiar with. And your life is reflecting what your heart is familiar with. Get familiar with the truth of your why me. Because you're extraordinary. Because you're great. Because you can handle it and did. Because you can grow from it and will. Because you can transform it. You're magic. You are divine. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me for this moment of harmony. I look forward to being back up with you all next week for another moment of harmony at 10 a.m. Should be a Saturday, but I'll also send out the notices if it changes because this has been a really, you know what I'm saying, one of those months. But I am very, 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 very happy to have shared another moment with you. And I look forward to another moment with you next week. Now, go and take some really, really great care of yourself and be certain to take care of someone else. I love you all so much.